Think back to that unforgettable moment in a hard day's night. The Beatles are sitting around flipping through their fan mail. John, Paul, and George each get a modest little pile. Then Ringo pipes up, asking if there's anything for him. The response? A mountain of letters so big it could make Santa Claus jealous. And instead of congratulations, John smirks with his signature sarcasm. Must have cost you a fortune in stamps, Ringo. Here's the kicker. That wasn't just movie magic. That was reality. The truth is, while John, Paul, and George were respected as the creative masterminds, when it came to sheer affection from the fans, Ringo Starr was the people's favorite. And honestly, it's easy to understand why. John, Paul, and George were like gods of pop culture. Gorgeous, impossibly talented, and larger than life. They were icons who seemed untouchable, meant to be admired from a distance. Ringo, on the other hand, felt like someone you could laugh with, talk to, or maybe even bump into at the local pub. He wasn't the perfect poster boy or the groundbreaking songwriter, but he was magnetic in a different way. Funny, relatable, and radiating charm. What most people didn't realize is that Ringo was also an outstanding musician in his own right, easily on par with his bandmates behind the drum kit. That relatability carried him far beyond the Beatles era. When the band split, the world wondered how each member would move forward. John chased his activism and artistry. Paul built his empire with wings. George explored spirituality and crafted timeless solo hits. And Ringo? He built something entirely his own, a project rooted not just in his talent, but in his incredible ability to connect with people. In 1989, Ringo Starr launched the All-Star Band, and it was more than just a solo act. It was a revolving, supergroup of rock legends who wanted to play alongside him. Think about that for a second. Ringo wasn't just leaning on Beatles nostalgia. He created a platform where some of the biggest names in music came together, united by respect for him, and more than 3 decades later, it's still going strong. But here's where things get even more impressive. It's one thing to have a superstar drop in for one song. It's another to convince them to actually join your band, rehearse with you, travel on tour buses, and perform night after night. Not just Beatles hits, but Ringo's own catalog. That takes serious respect. Some music historians argue that this lineup might be the most accomplished band Ringo ever played in. Yes, you heard that right. Even more technically stacked than the Beatles themselves. That's the magic of Ringo Starr. He wasn't just the drummer of the world's most famous band, he became the beating heart of a community of legends. And maybe that's why fans loved him then, and why they still love him today. Because Ringo was proof that you didn't have to be the flashiest or the most genius to win people's hearts. You just had to be real, relatable, and ready to share the stage with a little help from your friends.